Welcome back, guys. It's Kids Swimming Playground here, and today we're back for another video in Scratch, and today we'll be continuing the Hero War game. And if you do not know, this is the fourth part of Hero War, so if you have not checked out the first, the second, and the third part, go on our channel and check that out. So the first thing we're going to do is actually take out this. So the player won't actually take damage if you keep on setting their lives. So we're just going to take out the set lives, okay? So you see this set live to 1,200, set live to 850, set live to 1,000. Throw those all away. And then go to the elf portrait. I'm sorry, but it's actually over here. So when you go to the elf portrait, under the when this sprite clicked, it should actually set lives to 1,200. So the live a rotation works. So do that. As you can see, the live rotation works just like that. And we already coded all the power-ups and everything. So we're actually going to start out with the apprentice's star, which is and then we'll move on to the bomb. So we're going to start with the apprentice's star because this is what the mage third ability is, what the turret shoots. So when the green flag is clicked, we're gonna hide, and we need an if then hero selected is equal to 2 go to third ability. Go to third ability. There we go. So I think we already made the broadcast. So when I receive shoot apprentice's star, it'll go to third ability. So this is just a double check, go to third ability. Then it will show, it'll point towards mouse pointer. So it'll just shoot wherever your mouse is, and then it'll repeat until touching edge, and it'll move 30 steps until it reaches the edge, and it'll hide, and it will go to third ability. So that's it for this, and we'll come back to this and code it more later. So now we're going to work on the bomb, which is the Griffin ability, where the Griffin drops a bomb, which literally explodes everything. So I have made 4 costumes. If you watch the first part, you will know. So when the green flag is clicked, it will switch costume to 1. Then it will go to back layer. And the bomb is really strong. It'll insta-kill anything. So it'll go to this position and hide. So when I receive bomb, so this is when the Griffin drops the bomb and destroys everything in sight. It'll go to this position, switch costume to costume 1, just double check. It will show, and then it will glide 1 second to, and I have a position for this, 4 negative 113. So it would just be like around here, and that's when the explosion occurs, which then everything dies. And then after that, it'll wait 1 second. It'll switch costume to 2. And then we'll just duplicate this. Wait 1 second, switch costume to 3. Duplicate this. Switch costume to 4. Oops, sorry. And then we'll have a wait 1 second, and then it'll hide. So that's just the bomb code. And now let's work on the enemy. So this will be very bulky code, so stay along with me because it's gonna be a long ride. So let's start this. So the enemy is gonna be a clone, while the projectile is a target. I mean a single thing, so it's not a clone. So it's not 2 clones. So when I receive start game, it'll go forever. It'll create clone of myself, and then we'll have await, pick random between 1 to 2.3 seconds, which then a new dude will spawn. So let's get a when I start as a clone, it will go to x negative 175. So that's like around, oops, sorry. So x negative 175, which will be around here. And then we have a pick random for the y. It'll be pick random negative 100 to 25. And that's where like near the cemetery is. So yeah. And then it will show forever. It repeat until touching player. So we just point towards player no matter what. And it will point towards player. Then it will move 2 steps until it reaches the player. So zombies, medium speed. So when I start as a clone, it will, we need a new variable. So make a new variable, zombie HP. And this is for the sprite only. So just like that. So when I start as a clone, it will set zombie HP to 300. So zombies have 300 HP. And then it will repeat until touching player. And then after the touch, it'll wait 0.5 seconds. So it isn't clunky. So wait 0.5 seconds. And then now we reach the big block of code. So this, after when we're done with this code, it's gonna be the end of this video. So when I start as a clone, forever. So we're gonna go in this order. The first ability, no, the projectile, then the first ability. No, the projectiles first. Then the first ability of the first character, second ability of the second character, and we'll just go down just like that. So forever. You need a if touching, if then, it's touching. So after when we really just get one of them done for the projectiles, we can just duplicate them and use it like that. So, and, you need an and over here. So if then touching, projectile, so projectile, and hero selected is equal to 1. So this is the elf warrior. So if it's touching the projectile of the elf warrior, this is basically saying it will change zombie HP by minus 180. And it'll broadcast a message. Delete arrow. So this delete arrow message is pretty important. Arrow. And after that, we have an if then statement. If then, you need an or. If then, you need equals and a less than. So if then zombie HP is equal to 0, or zombie HP is less than 0, then it will change score by 5. Oh, change score by 5, and it will delete this clone. And that's just the first block. So since we have one of these, it's really easy to make a lot of them. So we just duplicate it. Remember to put it under so it doesn't interfere. And then if it's touching the projectile of hero selected 2, it'll change. So the mage is really strong, so it'll do minus 250 instead of minus 180. And then it'll broadcast delete arrow. Delete arrow is just basically delete projectile. And this is the same. So you see, once we have one, we can do a lot. Remember to put it under so it's not overlapping. So if it's touching hero selected is equal to 3, which is the fairy queen, it'll change HP by minus 60. Zombie HP. And it'll broadcast delete arrow and change score by 5. So this is, now we have an if then. So place it under here. If then, so now we're getting to the first ability of the first hero. You need an and. If then, it's touching first ability, which is the spectral arrows, which just go through all the enemies. First ability, and hero selected is equal to 1. Then it will change score by 5. Because we don't even have to deduct the HP from the zombie, because we're just going to delete its clone. Change, not -1, change score by 5. Then it will delete this clone. Delete this clone. And then we'll duplicate this, put it under. If touching second ability, and hero selected is still 1, the second ability is just the death arrow. And then we'll actually broadcast delete arrow and delete this clone. So the third ability just kills everything. So on the side, we'll put when I receive bomb, we'll put wait 1 second, and then delete this clone. So it just wipes it out. Just like that. And now we're going to move on to the first ability of hero selected is equal to 2. So let's just duplicate this. So if touching first ability and hero selected is equal to 2, which is the Grandmaster Mage, then it will, instead of doing all this, so for the Grandmaster Mage, this first ability, it actually teleports them back. So switch costume to costume 2. It'll wait 0.1 seconds. It'll move -150 steps back, so it'll just move all the way back. The Grandmaster Mage is really strong with his teleports. It'll move 0.3 seconds. Wait 2.3 seconds. And it will switch costume to costume 1. Fairly simple. That's the teleport back. And now we have, so let's go back to the projectile and get a duplicate. Oop, we just need 1. So let's move this down. So the second ability for the second hero, which is Grandmaster Mage, so if it's touching the second ability, hero selected is equal to 2, then it will change zombie HP by -60, and it won't broadcast delete arrow, because the lightning strike that the Grandmaster Mage does is really strong against metal enemies, but not these enemies. So it will change it by -60, and we'll just have the script over here. Now it's going to be the third ability, so which is the apprentice turret, which he'll shoot the apprentice's star at the enemy. So if it's touching the apprentice's star and the hero selected is equal to 2, then it will broadcast delete apprentice's star. Oh yeah, we need to make that. So we'll make a new message. New message. And we'll name it delete apprentices, because it's shooting from a different place. So you have to have this. So delete apprentice's star. So when I broadcast delete apprentice's star, it will change zombie HP by -90. So it's stronger against metal enemies, just like the lightning ability. And we'll have this right there. If then the zombie HP is 0, less than 0, change score by 5, and delete this clone. So now we're already moving on to the third hero. I know it looked like such a blocky amount of code, but it's actually not. So if it's touching, we'll just duplicate this. Remember, put it under. Don't overlap it inside. So if it's touching the second ability, and hero selected is equal to 3, which is the Fairy Queen. And since the first ability doesn't affect it, we don't need to put the first ability, because first ability just heals the dude. So we don't need any of this. It'll change score by 5 and delete this clone. Then we have to get this other block of code. So let's duplicate this. So the third ability in hero selected is equal to 3, which she makes the whole huge defender shield, which teleports them back once they touch it and does insane damage. It will be, so we'll have this, move -100 steps, -100 steps. It will change zombie HP by -200. It will switch costume to costume 3, which is this one. And it will wait 0.2 seconds. And it will switch costume to costume 1 again. And that's, yeah. So let's get another one. And we're actually done with all the abilities and projectile shots. So it was actually pretty quick. I didn't think it would be that quick. So we need if then over here. If it's touching the player. So we're going to finish up delete arrow. And this will be the end of the video. So after this. So if it's touching the player, it will move negative 20 steps back. So it can hit you again if you're not careful enough. And then it will set. We need a new variable. Hit player. So each of them do different damages. So we're going to have hit player zombie. And we'll have one for hit player speedy zombie. Hit player blah blah blah. And then it will set hit player zombie to Y. So we hit him. And it will broadcast hit player. So we're actually getting to hit player and the rest of the enemies next tutorial. Because hit player also is involved with all the other enemies. So it's this huge bulk of code. And we'll come back to do more code later on this sprite. But first, let's go to the projectile. So the projectile also has a delete arrow thing. So when I receive delete arrow, it will hide and it'll go to player. So that's just when it touches like the enemy. And same with the apprentice's star. So let's go to the apprentice star. When I receive delete apprentice's star, hide, and then it'll go back to third ability, which is the turret. Because it's hero selected, it's 2. Go to third ability. And that should work. So let's see if it works. So the only enemy that should be spawning right now is the casual enemy. So let's just check it out. We have all this clutter up here, so let's just close all this hit player zombie and go to the enemy, close the zombie HP. So yeah, so we have all this clutter. So let's just test it out. Let's try Grandmaster Mage. So as you can see, it works. The enemy is getting killed by the projectile, and we have the delete arrow in code and everything. So this is actually working pretty well. And let's see if power up 1 works, which is the teleport, and it does. It just teleports them back. And then let's see if power up 2 works, which is the lightning. That thing also works, but it's really weak against these zombies. We'll make it more strong against armored enemies. And as you can see, power up 1 works. So this is just the casual basics of the game. We have a lot of more bosses and stuff that we'll add to the game. And then let's see if this will work. Oh yeah, as you can see, the apprentice is shooting his stars, and it does seem to be working. So it'll work for all of them. Oh yeah, and we'll shrink the apprentice's star size so it doesn't like hit a mass majority of things. So it's actually going to be 40. And yeah. Oh, we should code the weight sprite. So let's actually do that first. So when the green flag is clicked, it'll go to front layer. Go to front layer. It'll switch costume to costume 1. So there's 2 costumes for this. There's the wait before using this item, and then this item is in progress, which is when the third ability is in progress, and you can't use another one while it's in progress. So, and it'll go to 0, 0, then it'll hide. Then, when I receive start game, it will switch costume to costume 1 and hide. And then when I receive game over, then it'll also hide. So oh yeah, we haven't even got to game over yet because we haven't coded the game over. So when I receive no item to use, so when you have nothing to use, it'll switch costume to costume 1, start sound, pop. It will show, wait 1 second, then it will hide. And the in progress part is about the same too. So when I receive in progress, it will switch costume to costume. It'll switch costume to costume 2, starts on pop, show, wait 1 second, and hide. So we coded the wait sprite down too. So I'm gonna get a few power-ups and I'll show you if it works. So the heroes haven't started taking damage yet because obviously we haven't coded it yet. So Fairy Queen's not gonna take any damage, but we can heal him back to max HP, even though she's at max HP. So yeah, and let's see if it works. Yeah. I just found a bug in the code. It's saying wait before using this item even though I have the item. And this is actually not supposed to be here. I accidentally put it in there. So sorry. Please take out that no item to use. And it should work now if I check all these real quick. Yeah. So let's rerun it on Fairy Queen. So I have a few abilities over here. So let's see if it works. We have power up. Yep, it works. So power up 2 works, as I know. And then let's see if the defender chip works. Yep, it seems to be working. So yeah. And I can heal myself even though I'm at max HP. Yeah, okay. So it works. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below what else games you want to see on our channel. And I'll see you guys in the next part.